Fuck me. Mini tongue.
This is the Dude Loft Mountain podcast with your hosts, Gabe, Tanner, and Tommy.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Dude Loft Mountain. My name is Gabe. I'm your host, and I'm joined with Tanner.
Howdy.
And Tommy.
This episode is sponsored by Slim Fast. Fuck you, fat. Eat Slim Fast.
Sun what? Sun what?
I think you said Slim Fast.
Slim Fast. I heard Sun Flask.
I wasn't sure what it was going.
What are you about to talk mad shit about me having my own place for?
Oh, okay. So right before the podcast started, I said to Tommy that I cannot wait for him to have his own place because I feel like it's going to be the best mixture of camping and like old timely mountain house where like you just stumble upon it because you're lost in the woods and there's this man with a gun and a really nice jacket and that's all he really has.
Yeah, but this man doesn't know how to use any of his camping gear.
Yeah.
The way you just described my house involves people walking in and going, oh, interesting. You put your front yard in your front room. And then him going, where's the bathroom? And I go, the outhouse is out back. That's
oh my God. So like Shrek, but without the swamp.
So it's just his shitty shack?
It isn't shitty.
I like his shack. It's got good vibes.
I would prefer to live in normal conditions.
So, like, the reason I say this is because in contrast, my house, like, I will have several different types of wine glasses. Your house, there's no need for that. Like, in your head, you're like, I can drink wine out of a coffee cup. Fuck all of you.
He only has 4 coffee cups. One that he drinks everything out of, and the rest are for guests.
Yeah. And that is like I cannot wait to visit you because I feel like that's going to be when I'm like,
it's called
I can unclench.
Masculine minimalism. Okay?
Masculine minimalism.
And it's a movement I'm starting.
What is it? What was your thing? A truck driver?
Sensitive trucker.
Sensitive trucker vibe.
Disney store story.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that's so funny you bring that up. I was listening through the first episode so that I could make like chapter markers for the YouTube videos. And that's when we first talked about that. In episode 1 is when we talked about Tommy his style being called sensitive trucker.
Well,
really?
I named it that.
Yeah.
Like,
I thought you were like in a store and someone saw what you were wearing.
No, she saw what I was wearing.
She was like,
she
I like
goes,
all of this.
Yeah, she turned around. She goes, I love everything that's happening here in front of me right now. And I said, yeah, I did that thing where I panic, and luckily Whit took over. And I went, yeah, I call it sensitive trucker, and they fucking lost it. And I was like, okay.
I think that
then
is
you
the
got
most...
to fuck that man's wife.
Oh,
did you watch?
I did not.
No. Oh.
No, I did not.
Maybe we can bring them on as guests.
I am not.
They'll find you.
I am not what the cold community would call a bull.
Is that what they're called?
That's what they're called.
A bull or a bull?
Yep, that's what my wife tells me they're called.
Well, we'll unpack that later.
My wife's boyfriend lets me play PlayStation for 2 hours every night.
My wife's boyfriend. What the fuck was I going to say?
You're gay. You're gay, son. It's okay. You're actually not gay. You're bisexual.
Correct. Which someone told me.
I'm hip.
Nice. Way to know the difference.
As I just fucking lean into this microphone, like
someone messaged me and was like, "Well, isn't bisexual?" Because they were listening to the podcast and we're just going back and forth, and they were like, "Well, isn't bisexual a blanket term for like pansexual and all this other sexuals?"
No,
and
right?
I was like, "You motherfucker!" I was like, "That one, it hurt me because I was like, that means that no, like, I used to have this like." Pride in being one of the first 4 letters.
He said the word. He said the word. He said the word.
No.
I would have saw his face.
No. My face is because I just came up with a question.
Oh, okay.
That
ignorant question of the week with Tanner Stewart.
Yeah. Doesn't the term bisexual imply that there are only 2 sexes?
Yes.
I wish you would let me finish before you asked.
Sorry.
Because bi comes from the term binary, which means 1 or 0.
Mm-hmm. We can come back to it.
Okay.
That sounds like a bad R&B line. I'm going to put my 1 in your 0.
Oh, my God.
I can't come back to it. So
we have to address this now.
So, yes. In ancient times, from where I'm from.
In medieval times.
There was only the 4. The lesbian.
Okay, what the fuck is this, Avatar? In the beginning of Pride, there were 4.
Well, this is how
everything changed when the Fire Nation.
Everything changed when the trans community attacked.
When Caitlyn Jenner did it. That's when it was.
I'm a traditionalist. That fucking
That's,
guy.
That's the
Oh,
sentence.
girl, sorry. I'm sorry. That woman, that female.
I'm going to put
I
all
can
of this
call
together,
her a
all
cunt.
wrapped nice into a bow. You both are going to be like, "Mwah."
Let Gabe teach.
Okay.
Teach me, oh gay messiah.
So there was the first 4, and
God, this sounds so fucking cool. All right, let's keep going.
the lesbians, the gays, the bisexuals, and the transgenders.
Oh, I know which one turns. The one that's already turned.
Shut the fuck up, Tommy. Let him finish.
So this person said, well, isn't it a blanket term? Like, doesn't that just become the blanket term now that we have so many different genders? And it made me feel like the oldest fucking thing in the world, because how old do you have to be to become one of the pillars of a movement? Mm-hmm. And I was like, no, I think it's its own thing, considering it has its own fucking letter. I was like, everyone wants me to include all these other letters. Stop fucking with mine. Mm-hmm. Because I'm very sensitive to bisexuality, because we used to get, or still get, a lot of shit from gay people, lesbians, transgenders, and all the rest, plus the straight people. We just always get shit.
Why, though?
Because, so a couple different arguments. Some people have gotten upset because they're like, I work so hard to be in love with my significant other who is the same sex, and that's who I want to be with. You are telling straight people that if you're bisexual or if you're part of this umbrella, like this, all of us gays, you are just being a whore. You're promiscuous. You want both. They confuse you for everyone, just like how we do that with stereotypes in general.
That's
like,
so narrow-minded.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's just
So
like you're attracted to both. That's what it means.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
I get really upset when people tell me like, oh, bisexual means that you're like, you would refuse people based off of certain things. And it irritates me because I'm like, but that's how you think about something you're not. You're putting me into a box of things, just like how we kind of started this whole movement to not be put in a box of things. But people who are in the same fight as me are putting my specific letter, like they're just restraining us to, you could only choose between man and woman. But what does that mean? Because if someone transitions, they are now moved from one to the other. So why wouldn't, like, how does me being bisexual make me not date a trans person? That, to me, that's dumb, because all they did was move from one to the other. They're still one of the things I like. They just changed. And that's fine. And it should be okay for me to be bisexual and have everyone included. That's why I always make the joke of like, it doesn't matter to me. Whoever it is, I'm fine with. Obviously, I can't make the joke now because I'm kind of in a relationship. But yeah.
I personally think
I'm scared. Where's this going?
The United States should just nuke ourselves as like a last FU to the world. I think we should go out in a blaze of glory.
Can I move first?
No, I'm just really
Poland, here I come.
I don't understand doesn't it get exhausting to be outraged all the time?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not
you're
specifically
right?
referencing Gabe's stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like all the people who ask you those things, and stuff like that. It's like they spend so much of their time on Twitter just yelling at people, and it's the most like you spend that much of your life doing that. Like, what the fuck does that do to a person?
Yeah, and I couldn't agree with you more, dude. When I run the Dude Loft Mountain Twitter account, and I was trying to...
If you couldn't tell by all the stock jokes.
That was a while ago. I haven't made a stock joke in a while, though I really wanted to today. Tesla pissed me off today. Anyways.
Fuck Elon Musk. Hashtag fuck Elon Musk.
Anyways. Fuck, where was I going with this? Yeah, so trying to like boost our followers and whatnot, there are very like political people on either side that have really large accounts that boost other people's accounts so that they then like follow them and then kind of get sucked into their echo chamber of ideals. Mm-hmm. And it is the most mind-blowing thing I've ever seen. Once you get involved in one of these accounts and you try to like get boosted by them, you're then following like everyone that they follow, and it is just such like an echo chamber of just ugly, ugly thoughts so that you can try to get more followers on Twitter. And it's on both sides. So if these people, like you're saying, Tommy, that just are pissed off all the time on Twitter, if these people just disconnected from technology for like 3 days, they'd realize that they're so much happier.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Yeah, it's just the internet is just like it's so good to society, but like to our mental health, if you're not monitoring it, it's terrible.
I had noticed that I was getting I would say like I was having addicted traits to my phone because I was like, well, I don't know what to be doing, so I guess I'm going to be on my phone. And it wasn't until I was like, oh, okay, I have this much time. I can do this, shower, and then go to bed, and I will still go to bed at a normal time. I'm not old. I just wake up at 4. Leave me alone. But I realized that I had spent the entirety of that time on my phone, and I was like, I think I have a problem. So then I started doing my alarms, like okay, you're done with your phone. I set my like timers and stuff like that because I think it's getting a problem, and I can actively like feel that there's a difference the less I'm on my phone, because like now I'm too busy at work, so I'm really not on it all that much.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get a little bit of spare of the moments, but my thing dropped down from last week to this week. It dropped down like 40%.
Oh, like your phone screen time?
Yeah.
You would love this app. I used to use it and then I forgot about it. But I think it's like $4 on the App Store. It's called, you got a fucking problem, man?
Dude, you look like you're about to fall asleep.
Dude.
I think this is the most blazed you've been on any of our podcasts.
I'm not just blazing faded as fuck, my guy.
We're going to get so many comments that I can hear him so clear. He's enunciating so well.
I'm in full...
He's speaking half as slow as he normally does.
I'm in full unemployment.
Or half as fast,
Hey,
guess.
fuck you. Okay, I'm in full unemployment mode. All right, this is my time. The age of man is over. The age of orc has come. What the fuck were we talking about?
You were talking about an app for phone screen time?
Oh, it's called Forest. And every time like you want to stop using your phone, you click start. It basically starts like a lockout timer. And it just counts up. And there's a certain amount of time, every certain amount of time, it plants a little tree. And you grow this little garden. And it's really a good way to keep you focused on something, because like when you open your phone, it immediately sends a pop-up message like you're killing a tree, because like it kills your tree within like 2 minutes of you being on your phone or something like that. And it kills the tree, and then it leaves the tree in your garden, so you got this like ugly dead looking tree. Yeah, but you might want to try that.
Forest, huh?
That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
interesting.
I really enjoy using it. Like I need to start using it more, but I don't. I'm in between jobs right now.
You got nothing better to do than
I mean, look at me.
scroll through your
I'm
phone.
faded as fuck. I'm a couple shots and a few drinks in, and
it's been a rough day.
Excuse me, I have had a perfectly calm day.
Can you use your free time to fix the fridge?
Okay, I am not God. I don't know how to work a fridge.
I was going to tell you.
I know how to open one and take shit from it. I know that shit real well.
I was going to tell you, since you sent me that thing about the dishwasher filter.
Oh, yeah.
That I was like, I know I just said that I was brown and I just know how to clean shit, but I don't know how to fix the refrigerator. I can do most of the other stuff.
That fridge is whack right now, man.
Yeah, that's upsetting. I'm just so happy that I don't have to sit there and like chop everything Ziploc, like suck the air out of everything right now. That's the only good part. So you haven't seen, what's this movie called? What are you wearing?
This is a vape pen.
Oh, Big Lebowski?
Big Lebowski.
No, I haven't seen
it.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
So I just noticed Tommy's wearing the shirt, and I can't remember what he says while he's in that scene, but John Goodman is so fucking funny in that movie.
I need to watch it.
Yes, I recommend you watch it.
Dude,
we'll watch it together.
I will gladly sit and watch it with you, and it won't be like was I an annoying watcher with you? Was I constantly looking at you for your actions or anything? Be honest.
No.
Was I? Yeah, no. I explain it to you, and then I go to church. So it's all good.
Legitimately.
Well, no, I know last time we talked about the Big Lebowski, you said, Tommy, that you would give like an introduction to the movie, that without that, most people don't like the movie watching it their first time, right?
So, sorry about the coughing. I am currently smoking marijuana. Now.
Medical.
I am a victim. What were we talking about? The Big Lebowski. Okay. So, yes, The Big Lebowski is a movie that lots of people hate the first time they watch it, because it's got this weird cult hype behind it. And so you watch it with really high expectations of something like great. And if you have no idea what the plot structure is or anything like that, you're walking blind into a movie that is requiring you to literally just let yourself kind of sink in and just follow along with the character, like adventure basically, and just kind of have these random encounters and stuff like that. Like it doesn't have a necessarily like usual straight up plot structure. It's kind of more of just like a character adventure of like, you're the dude, you're hanging with the dude for like a month, like, you know, and this is just kind of what happens.
So this might help explain to other people who are maybe not understanding. But so if you've ever watched, if you're a fan of Studio Ghibli, the way I like tell people how it makes me feel is it's kind of like watching a character just in a random, like not specifically when he's about to save the world or anything like that. You're just watching him in a normal, from Thursday to Wednesday of the next week. You just catch a glimpse of their life. And it's fucking funny. It's really fucking funny and interesting. But Studio Ghibli does that a lot where I don't know what's happening, but it makes me feel so nice.
Yeah.
I like Studio Ghibli.
But so basically the this is a good place to do it. Because I even ran this by a friend of mine and he was like, yeah, it sounds great. Like that sounds exactly like what I'm going to start saying before people watch it. And it is a noir inspired, like noir detective, hard-boiled inspired storyline in the 1990s with a stoner, an LA stoner, as the main character. And it is less about the plot of the story, of what's actually happening. It's less about that and more about all the characters themselves and all the weird...
They're like stereotypical characters, but portrayed as what the movie is.
Yeah, and they all represent types of feelings or a type of person and stuff like this. And it's just this kind of character adventure. Just go along and for an hour and a half, let yourself be taken on a ride with the dude and just enjoy it.
It's
enjoy it for what it is.
It's pretty good.
It's a updated neo-noir thriller, basically. Not thriller, but, you know, comedy. And I told that to Gabe, and he enjoyed the movie on his first time, which is rare. I love that movie. That's probably easily my favorite movie. I hated that movie the first time I watched it.
Yeah.
I only gave it a second chance because I was like, well, I wasn't exactly paying attention towards the back half of the movie. So let's give it another shot. I've seen it already. I know what to expect now. Let's watch it. And the second time I watched it, I was like, oh my God. Like, this shit's so fucking good. Like, what the fuck? I think it just allows you to pay more attention to the smaller details of the characters on screen and what they're doing.
Yeah, you're less concerned with the story, that you're just kind of enjoying what's happening on the screen.
Because there is a main plot throughout the movie, but if you let yourself get lost trying to stick with that plot, there's scenes that just happen that don't necessarily matter to that plot. It's just like a weird kind of little side quest that the characters go on for a second or something like that. And it's just, I would say, don't worry about the plot on your first watch through. Enjoy the characters for what they are. Your second time through, then worry about the plot, because then you already like these characters. You've laughed at them. You know, you've connected with them in some way, and then now you can go back and kind of see where the plot suddenly pops in and starts, you know, rebuilding again and stuff like that.
I recently watched a Studio Ghibli movie with Karina, and she made me realize that I'm going to start adding a question to, like, so when I met you guys, I made you guys do the Myers-Briggs test, and that's kind of what I make everyone do. It's like, hey, do this test so that I can know how to communicate with you in the best way. And so I think I'm going to add this to one of the questions of, like, okay, this will kind of give me the idea of who you are as a person, and it will make me not kill you. But so there are people who, so Adam and I will talk if we're watching something, even if we've never seen it, and we will pause it to talk about something we've noticed, but we'll get like really deep about like the writers, the producers, like who did certain things for this movie, what the actors or actresses did to why this scene is portrayed the way that it is. But I know that some people, so like my mom, if she hears anyone say anything, she's instantly like, shut the fuck up and watch the movie.
Chunka.
Yeah. And I've always just thought everyone was like that. but so I watched with Karina for the first time by myself, and it was so nice because I didn't feel like I was having to like be quiet. I could like make comments and be like, haha, this is funny, or oh, that makes sense, or da da da, because she does it too, and it just makes me so happy because other people do it. I thought I was just like when I found out Adam did it, I was like, wait, you want to tell me these things right now at this point in time? Like you don't want to like wait for the movie to be over? He's like, I'm not going to remember it. I'm like, me neither. So, what do you guys do?
It depends.
During a movie?
Yeah. Well, I think it does depend. If there's a movie like I really, really want to just submerge myself into, I don't think I speak at all.
So, I would say me and my friends, when we watch a new movie, it's up to the movie. Movies that really grip us will make us shut up for just full like 25-minute periods. Where it's like you notice like, oh, everyone's really gripped into the movie right now. Like they're like, we watched Terminator one time and it just pulled people in, and like there was very minimal talking as we were watching it. If the movie doesn't grip us as well, or if it's like a documentary maybe, where there's like, really lots of shocking revelations and all that stuff, there's a lot more banter and stuff going on. But for the most part, I'd say it's not abnormal, to talk during
sort of commentate.
During the watching it. I think the quietest my friend group is watching a new movie is in a theater. That's pretty much it.
Oh yeah, I don't talk at all in a theater.
I think normally I'm quiet and just enjoying the movie, but Karina and I have a list of movies, most of my favorites, and then a couple of her favorites in the list.
Her three
that we want to get through. And so like normal movies or TV shows will probably be quiet through unless it's The Bachelorette, because you have to talk shit about that show.
Dude, you guys do talk a lot of shit about that show. Oh,
yeah.
Sorry, I'm not talking about... You guys do talk a lot of shit about that show.
But so other than that show, I think normally we're quiet. And then the only other circumstance when I'm talking is when we're watching one of my favorites, because I just have like so much to explain. You're
just mouth ejaculating.
Because
what's happening.
we watched There Will Be Blood, and this was like a month into our relationship, so I am so surprised that she stayed with me, because I was talking about like Paul Thomas Anderson and his like directing techniques in certain scenes, and I was talking about Daniel Day-Lewis and his method acting, and at one point there was one time where I like paused the screen because, have you heard of the phi ratio or the golden circle? Or the golden spiral? It's like...
Oh, the golden spiral, maybe.
Golden spiral. It's like a cinematography technique where you take like the Fibonacci sequence, which turns into a spiral, and it directs your line of sight from like one point at the end of the spiral all the way to the middle of the spiral. And I paused the screen and I showed her like, look at the golden spiral. And I like went on a big old lesson about cinematography and how Robert Elswit, who is the cinematographer of that movie, is an absolute genius. And so it's like moments like that where I've paused a very, very technical movie and explained how I'm such a nerd about it.
Okay, so I do that with I did that with Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
I've done that with a lot of movies that I'm very, very it just makes me happy because I know so much about it, about what went on. And like there are TV shows where I'm like, okay, and this scene is happening, but the person who did this, like their like family just died, like, and this is the scene that they're performing. And like stuff like that.
Yeah,
I'm like,
are
you need
you
to
just
appreciate
watching
'cause it's like-
telenovelas?
sometimes.
No, but it's like
Stop your racist speak, boy.
no, but it's like my favorite movies. I've spent hours, if not days, like looking into them and just like picking them apart. And I want to share that like same knowledge experience with her because I love these things so much. And just like you with Pirates of the Caribbean, like I know you love Pirates of the Caribbean, and you sent me that video, I think, about how Pirates of the Caribbean is accidentally genius.
Oh yeah,
and it's like a 2-hour long lecture about how the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie is
Where the
perfect.
fuck is my link to that? I want to watch that shit.
Dude, you should watch it
yeah.
because it will blow your
I
mind.
love those types of videos.
That movie is
I'll
so
send it
good.
again.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, it was a long time ago when I sent it to him. So
Yeah,
And I guess I just wasn't good enough at the time.
I guess not.
I guess I just wasn't a good enough friend.
Guess not.
or you just
Hadn't
didn't
bought
care
you
about
enough
the
weed
link.
or some shit, huh?
But so you just reminded me of something that I was told. So fun fact for anyone who's single is it is actually like people have studied when someone's on a first date or like the beginning of a relationship, one of the best things you can do to get someone to kind of fall for you or kind of be more drawn to you is explain something to them that you love,
Oh yeah, be passionate.
and they'll see like if they like that kind of like I don't know those feelings that you're producing.
Yeah, because it's
with
like a
your
super
passion.
super genuine side of you.
What?
Yes.
What? So you're okay. Let's figure this out. Your first date topic would be movies. That would be your passion, right?
I did not talk about movies on my first date with Karina.
No, but if you were given the instruction of like on this date you have to talk about something you are deeply passionate about and express that passion to this other person, so at the possibility that they will latch onto that and be like, wow, this is like a really interesting guy. What would your subject be?
Yeah, it would probably be movies because I mean, books is kind of like too boring of a topic. Like that's not going to work.
Yeah.
Unless you guys have read the same book.
Yeah.
Like, wow, the
Exactly,
font
Which
in
is
addition to
usually
was
hard.
my
And
favorite.
then I mean, video games are fun, but I don't think I'm as passionate about them as film.
You're definitely
or
not.
books.
You talk about movies way differently from the way you talk about games.
Yeah.
You talk about movies a
Yeah,
lot
so
too.
movies are probably the thing.
At one point, Karina had asked me something about director, and I was like, "Oh, I'm really sorry, Karina. I'm not like Tanner. I don't know like all the things about everything in a movie all the time." And she's just like, "Oh no, me neither. But there's this one specific director," and then we had a conversation about that. But I was like, "Oh, okay. So you too? Okay." I was like, he knows things.
You're not escaping. What's your first date topic?
Is yours Disney?
I'm not saying mine yet because
Oh, okay.
I honestly don't know.
Okay.
Disney's a good guess. though.
Well, yeah. Well, because I went when he asked you about
Or his
yours
cats.
for like the third time. I was
You got
like,
a fucking problem,
no,
SA?
I'm just saying.
They're my family, goddammit.
Dude, I heard them meowing so much today after you left.
Did you hear me meowing at them?
No.
I'd open the door and they'd meow, and I was like, meow, meow,
No, I did hear
It
that.
was like, you fucking cats.
It's like, God damn, they love you so much.
They're so fucking needy. I swear. When I start working at an actual place again, they're gonna hate
Oh,
it.
they're gonna
you're
be
gonna
so
cry
sad.
Yeah.
all the time. Well, because I was thinking, I was like, well, what would Tommy's be? And I was like, well, what is it like? I was like, weed, but he probably wouldn't talk about that on the first date. I was like,
No, I feel like weed is a
And then I came up with-
shitty topic to talk
Yeah,
about.
you
I
can't,
came up with
like,
Disney.
How much can you talk about weed before like you're as deep as it gets?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like weed. Like I love weed. Obviously,
Weed loves me.
Yeah, I love weed. I am fully aware that some people elevate weed to a level it does not belong to.
Yeah.
Like
Agreed.
some people treat weed like it is the gold of the earth and all that stuff. And it's like it's still a drug.
Yeah.
Like it's still a drug.
It's like those same dudes that are crazy about craft beers.
yeah, it's like it's just another thing. Can it be medically used? Yes. But it's still a drug, just like any drug in the medical field and stuff like that. It's not the cure all for everything, it's not going to cure cancer or anything like that. It's some people elevate it way too much. And I don't know if that's like a defense mechanism against like people saying that they smoke too much or what. Cuz I smoke too much. I know that. But fuck you.
I thought you were weaning off of it for a little bit there.
No, I'm going to go hard into the fucking paint for the next week
Until
and a half.
until your job
Yeah,
starts.
and then the minute the job starts it's like
Did you have to drug test?
no. But what was I don't know what mine would be. Mine would Disney's a good guess.
I feel like
I just
Disney's
don't know if-
big enough to be talked about where someone would understand your passion and then be excited by your
Yeah, I
passion.
mean,
Yeah,
I
unless
guess
they're also a Disney buff. Like you could talk for hours about the parks and the movies.
like
and-
Disney bringing up Disney on a first date as like a means of like passionate conversation is a 50-50 shot of like you're either going to grab someone who is also a fucking Disney nut as an adult
Yeah.
and
Or you'll push them the opposite direction.
yeah, or you're going to find someone who is not a Disney nut, and people who are not Disney nuts tend to look at Disney nuts like they're fucking nuts.
Yeah.
And so then you're just lecturing this person for an hour. But I don't know, it'd be either that or possibly music. I really like
Oh,
music.
Yeah,
you
music is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I don't have a lot of like
Have you studied
maybe
like,
writing. I
music
like
theory
I
at
like
all?
writing. Music theory? Yeah. I've studied. I kind of had to once I got into writing music. I kind of had to just to not even to use it because I don't use music theory that often.
Mhm.
But I still needed to know the rules so I knew what to call a type of move and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
And I mean, even if you're talking with someone that doesn't know anything about music theory, if they know anything about math,
yeah.
you can easily put the two together and like the connections are unreal. It'll blow anybody's mind.
Although my math skills are at that of a second grader. So
That's all you need.
yeah,
Really.
I realized the other day
2
I forgot
+
how to
6.
do long division, and it really fucked with
Oh
me.
no, like by hand.
Yeah, like I was like,
Fuck, I don't know if I could.
like if you do like 9 divided by 3, that's fucking easy.
Yeah.
But if you actually write out like a hard problem, long division wise, it's like, oh, but then how did we? Because we crossed something. How does the fucking
You gotta
remainder-
carry over the two.
So what the fuck? And I was just like, but then you subtract. It was. I was literally sitting there. I was like, oh my! It got to the fucking point, boys, that before this podcast, I looked up the Clue Finders educational games from the 90s. These computer games about these fucking like Scooby Doo Inc. kids, basically. Called fucking Clue Finder. I looked it up because I was like, I missed those games. I'm gonna play it and get my math skills back up to a fucking 4th grade fucking level because I can't do long division anymore.
Yeah, boy.
So a talent of mine in school was I could do long division in my head, and
That's impressive.
thank you. I said that out loud, and Spitz was like, "Oh, okay. Can you do this?" Because he had a problem, and I went, "Yeah." And I set up the problem in my head, and I went, "Oh my God, I don't know what the next step is." And I couldn't remember how to do
Yeah.
it. So now I like forced myself to remember, write it all down. And I was like, okay, I'm never going to forget this again. Because I was like, if I don't have this, what am I?
Yeah, I remember when I first moved in here, you talked about creating a book of long division.
Well,
And
no, not long division, just like calculus.
Yeah, and like you said,
she just wanted to keep her math skills up.
yeah, and you said that, and we all like laughed for a second. I was like, that's actually probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Because that I had just figured out I couldn't do long division anymore.
I know.
And I was like, wow, this is kind of like a sign that I'm a dumbass. But
No, a friend of mine, a long time ago in high school, she went to like do that. I don't know what it's called, like Kodos or something like that.
Kudos? That
Kudos?
like tutor
Yeah,
place?
the tutor place. And they started her with like basic 1st grade math, and then you work your way up to the grade that you are over the course of the year.
Really?
And she is brilliant at math now
oh, that's actually a really good idea.
because you relearn the basics
yeah,
as an adult. So it's like once you learn something twice, it's really, really, really ingrained in you.
yeah,
Which is why I always tell people training, like if you're going to have a training class for your company, if it's more than 2 weeks, you should just extend it by like just a couple more weeks
yeah.
and then just reteach everything you just taught, because then people will pick it up and be much faster at it.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing with that sign language app I have right now. I go through and every day I redo all the basic ones. And I'm redoing all the basic ones, and then once I enter a new chapter, I'm only going to do like a couple of the basic ones, and then
just
the
keep
rest
going.
of the other ones, and just keep going back to
you
the
keep
basics.
like double dipping a little bit.
Yeah,
Will
because
you send me that app? Because I've been trying to learn sign language. There was a show called Switched at Birth that had sign language in it, and I did it for a very long time. It was super good. Never used it again.
It's surprisingly easy to pick up. I'm sure once you get into actual technicalities within like language itself, it's a little bit harder because there's like different chapters where it's like you move from just saying like the milk is bad by being like this, and then like putting your hand down, to saying like this milk is really bad, and it's like multiple hand movements to say that and stuff like that.
I see.
So, but yeah, I'll send it to you. It's actually for a free app. It's pretty cool. Pretty good.
Duolingo?
Huh?
Is it Duolingo?
No, they
it's
don't have sign language. I
It's set
checked.
up a lot like
I know, I'm kidding.
Duolingo, but yeah, that fucking Duolingo, dear God.
Those
The
memes were
Duolingo's
hilarious.
responsible for all the Italian I know.
Dude,
that
that-
isn't a curse word.
That owl is fucking passive aggressive.
Dude, I know. Just, you've missed for the fucking 11th day, you stupid bitch.
Yeah, and then it's like, would you like me to cancel your notifications?
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Oh, am I fucking bothering you now? I'm
Yeah.
sorry you didn't want to learn French.
Yeah, I got to the place where it was like, do you want me to just stop like talking to you? Do you want me to cancel this? And I'm like, ugh. I was like, no, fuck, I'll open it. So I've been on a lot of first dates, lots of them, like a lot of them. And
Yeah, what's your
I realized what my
passionate conversation topic?
it's
Oh,
really
yeah.
it's really strange. It's people watching. I'm really, really good at it.
Serial killer. Serial killer.
So
Also, how can you be good at people watching?
I don't know, but I am.
I don't think that's a skill that people are either.
Well, it doesn't
good or
necessarily
bad
have to be a skill. It's just an interest. Like yours is movies.
Yeah.
Like
But-
I mean, yours.
But
is
he said
technically-
he's good at people watching. I think everyone does it. Can you be good at people watching?
I mean,
I
I
feel like-
understand people watching because
Yeah.
I think everyone enjoys people watching a little bit.
yeah.
But
People
as like a passionate point of conversation, like that's something you're going to be able to talk about for like an hour.
I bet he has a lot of stories
Okay,
to tell.
so it's because I did it once on this date, and it was me and this guy, and we were in a bar. We were able to hear each other, and I just started doing it, and I was like, okay, so you see this people right here? I was like, so I've been watching him. This and this and this has happened. So I'm gonna just make predictions of like this is gonna happen because of this. Like this is most likely the outcome. This is most likely their relationship between each other. And then he didn't believe me. And so this was really good for my ego because then he was like, oh, I'm going to go check. And so he went and asked them like how they were related and like how about their night and just made it really good. He was very good at talking. So he just kind of made it very seamless. But I was right about all of it. And I was so happy about it. But it's probably just because I started doing it when I started serving. And when I would get bored at work, I would watch people and then just wonder like, what the fuck are you trying to accomplish? Like I would watch people try to work. My first job was a Cold Stone Creamery. So trying to watch someone figure out how to make a cake or make ice cream, hilarious. Fucking hilarious. I would grab other people and be like, come watch what they're
watch
about
closely.
to do. I was like, they're going to grab this bowl, not realize that the bottom comes out and it's going to fall through. And he's like, well, shouldn't we help them? No. Watch. And they would do it. And I'm like, see, I fucking told you. I was a bad person.
Have I ever told you guys about the night I worked at Cold Stone Creamery when I was like 13?
The night, like the one time.
It was a one night thing because I was in the Police Explorers as a kid.
No way.
Yeah, for like
I was in it
couple
for about a
months.
day.
I was in it for a couple months because a friend of mine was in it, and then they had a day where they came in and they were all smiling and they're like, "Today's the day we lose some of you." And then they took us down to the crime lab and showed us crime scene photos, and I couldn't eat corn for a week. So anyway, where was I going?
I don't
with
know.
Cold Stone
dude.
Creamery.
This Cold Stone Creamery. Thank you. So like I was like 13, 14. I was freshman, so probably 14. And they had us work at Cold Stone for a night for a fundraiser where we got like all the tips and then like a portion of the proceeds. And it might be the night that I realized I was the dumbest shit ever because I was like making the ice cream and I was so anxious because I did not like, I was like 13. Like, I didn't want to be working. Like I didn't want to be behind this
Yeah.
counter. I didn't know how to take orders. I didn't know how to work here. They barely taught us anything. It was like this weird thing. And so I started, you know how they like toss your ice cream a little bit and stuff like that with two of the scoops. I just kept doing that shit for far too long.
Just
And-
5 minutes in,
yeah,
you're still...
because like other kids around me didn't know what they were fucking doing, and I was just like looking down, not making eye contact with anyone, just like turning the ice cream over. One dude even said, he was like, "I think it's done," and I was like, "Nope." I was just like, "Nope, we got to get this just a little bit more fucked up," you know. But
It'll
yeah.
start to melt, like turn into pudding consistency.
Yeah, it was that's a night in my life I always forget about. And once a year it comes up and I'm like, whoa, because I always think about it. And now that I'm a fucking pothead, I'm always think I'm high in the memory because that's what it felt like. Like I had like an out of body
You're just like,
experience.
was this real?
Yeah, it feels so surreal because I'm like, they just put us behind a fucking Cold Stone Creamery counter. We didn't have any fucking food handlers cards. We didn't have any type
Training,
Like,
nothing.
yeah, nothing. They just put like 6 fucking high schoolers. It's like, what the fuck?
And it's funny because so like when I ever go to jobs where there's food and they go like, okay, so obviously don't touch your hair and then touch food. And I'm like, this is pointless. But like that shit's important when you first get out there and these kids don't know what the
Yeah.
fuck they're doing.
You want to know something disgusting? I used to work at a pizza place, and there was one night where we did the same thing like you did with the Police Explorers. We let some like high school club come in and run the place for the night, and they would get some money and whatnot. But anyways, I worked in like a buffet kind of like pizza restaurant, and we offered like wings and pizza and garlic bread. And there was like, I don't know what you call it, but it was kind of a 3-tiered standing oven that had conveyor belts. and you would put bread or pizza in on one side, and it would flow through the other side through the oven and come out done. And so we had like this big long stick with like a spatula on the end of it, so you could pick stuff up when it came out, and you could
The pizza spatula?
yeah. I don't know what you call them, but
Oh, I don't know.
there was one night we were crazy busy.
They call it a BFS.
There was an order
Big
of
fucking
breadsticks
spatula.
coming out. I had the BFS.
Yeah.
And I picked up the breadsticks with it, and it started to slide off, and I couldn't like catch my balance with it or whatnot. So I caught this hot pan with my hand.
Oh.
And I put it on the cutting board, and like all 4 of my like fingers were burned. Not my thumb, just my fingers were burned to hell. It hurt so bad. I had it like wrapped up for the rest of the night, and I could only like cook with my left hand because my right hand was fucked. And then the next
Fuck,
night,
they didn't let you go home?
no, we were too busy.
Oh, God.
And then the next night I came in, and all 4 of my fingers had like these big old blisters on them.
Ugh.
And my index finger had a huge blister, bigger than the rest of it, because that's where most of the weight was from the pan. And it was like, I don't know, like a 2 inches long, like from there to there.
Holy fuck.
And it was like just a sack of pus. Like you could poke it and tell that it was like a water balloon ready to pop. And
Oh, God.
so I get to work, and I just start making pizzas and stuff. And my best friend worked at the restaurant with me. And by the end of the night, he manages to look at my hand. And he's like, "Where'd your blister go?" And I was like,
Oh, no.
Yeah,
I don't
the
know.
beginning of the story was, do you want to know something disgusting?
It's-
And
yeah.
it came to
so
mind.
like all of the blisters on my hand had popped that night from working. And I am like hands deep putting cheese on pizza,
Oh, my
pepperonis, vegetables. Like it's all handwork.
God. No.
Yeah.
No.
And so my like 4th degree or 3rd degree burn finger pus was in someone's pizza somewhere that night.
No. No.
Yeah.
No, that's not real.
It's real.
You making that shit up. That's not fucking real.
No,
I don't want to know that's real.
I'm dead serious. Dude, it was at least a tablespoon of pus.
it's
it was bad.
yeah.
Dios mío, man.
I used to work in several restaurants. Let me tell you, it's very uncomfortable to eat at restaurants.
They didn't
Yeah.
make you wear gloves?
No, because no one knew about it except for my friend until after the fact. I was like, my blister popped. And he was like, okay, let's put one of those like little finger condoms on and like cover it up, make it look like nothing happened.
Yeah.
So that my boss wouldn't get pissed off at me because they knew I had blisters. And when they would see that it was gone, they'd be like, where the fuck did it go?
But if they knew you had blisters, why wouldn't they make you wear gloves?
It was busy. I don't know, man.
It was busy. They got gloves. You gotta have gloves. Gloves. Food service gloves.
It was
So,
it was a
Tommy-
place that had like owners who were in their like early 30s, recently married, their first business. They didn't know what
Dog,
was
a
going on.
fucking toddler.
It was run by high schoolers. They don't know what was going on.
Also-
Lots of OSHA violations.
Yeah. There's so food industry is the only industry where I can probably, I mean, it's the only industry I can really compare it to other than corporate life. But if it's busy or there are customers who might be upset in the slightest if we let you go home, you're not going home.
Yeah. No.
They don't care if you're bleeding. I've had a chef like lose his Band-Aid several times over the course of a night in the food, and no one sent him home. We just hoped that someone ate it without realizing, or they never found it and it went home with them. That's literally what like managers just like, if your table has a Band-Aid in it, let me know right away. And I'm like, okay, should we tell them? And he's like, no. Let them find it and then say something. Because if they don't find it, it's not a problem. And I'm like, I hate how this works.
Yeah.
I
It's
didn't
nasty.
When I first started, I think I didn't eat at restaurants for a very long time. I couldn't do it anymore.
That's fucking gross, bro. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck, bro?
Not food critics, but the like health department, they tell them in advance, like really far in advance. And then, the night before, everyone just stays up really late cleaning absolutely fucking everything and are on
Which
their
is
best
not the
behavior.
way it should go.
Wait, they don't
No.
do surprise drop-in like the
No.
movies?
Nope.
What the fuck, health department?
Secret
your
shoppers
shit
will
together.
and food critics will. But health departments, let them know in advance to clean all the rust out of their bins.
Yeah. It's not like an air marshal. They're just in hiding on your plane. No.
Dude,
They let you know.
I would fucking like I would elevate the role of a health inspector if they were just like an undercover fucking authority, because that's a fucking important ass job.
Yeah.
Because some places are fucked.
Dude, especially in larger cities where you have to like look on their front door and see what kind of like cleanliness rating they have.
Yeah.
Those are the places where it's needed.
Yeah. It's really like, and especially like, I think there was a video game I used to play. It might have been like SimCity or something like that, but it was a game like that. And it was like, one of the things was like, there was like a food poisoning outbreak in the city. And you had to like manage how many people it was killing and all this stuff.
God.
And it was like, fuck, dude. Like, that shit fucking matters. Like, you don't want your whole city going to a really popular restaurant and then, having
Dysentery.
1,000. Well, I mean, then your sewer system's fucked,
Yeah.
Too much poopaloo,
I'm going to say the name of a restaurant. I need you to bleep it out.
Okay. Bleep.
Not like that, you dumbass.
Okay.
Post editing.
Do you remember
Bleep.
the restaurant?
Wait, say it with your English accent.
Bleep. Oh, yes. Thank you so much.
leave it in just for that.
Thank you so much for saying it like that. I was just so confused because of your Southern African accent.
Southern African. What the fuck?
I'm sorry, you're Central American.
Anyway,
You're from the Aztec people.
Do you remember the restaurant?
Kissed by the sun. What?
Do you remember the restaurant?
Restaurants. Yes, I
Okay.
remember that restaurant.
So they have A's.
AIDS.
A's, like the letter
Huh.
A as a passing health inspection.
Yeah.
But we've seen the inside of that restaurant. Like
Well,
just through
isn't
the
an
drive.
A like kind of like a B?
No, A is the
I
best.
thought E is exemplary. Right?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. But an A is not failing. And I've seen the inside of that restaurant. There's no way. There's no way.
Oh yeah,
Our standards are very, very low.
I have a friend who has a dad in the plumbing and electrical industry, and he's shown me pictures of when they've moved stoves at like fast food restaurants and stuff. And it is a fucking nightmare.
I don't even
Yeah.
want to know, dude.
Yeah, it is fucking gross.
A friend of mine's a plumber, and he's just like that. He's like, I've lost all faith in humanity.
Dude, plumbers, like, God bless you.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Seriously.
God fucking bless you. I don't know how
the world
you
would
guys
fall
do it.
apart without plumbers.
Like, thank God for overtime rates, because I'm pretty sure no one would do that work without overtime rates. Because,
Yeah.
God damn, I have seen, through that friend, I have seen, no pun intended, some shit. I mean, I have seen literal shit at times.
Yeah.
That is a fucky job.
not one I want to do.
I would never. No, thank you. There's not
The
enough
pay
money
is
in the
really good, though.
world. Not enough.
Those guys are making six figures.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure.
Are they? I don't
Yeah.
know. Friend I have. Text me and let me know. I don't think they're making six
maybe
figures.
not if you're just like an employed like laborman, but if you own like your own.
Oh, yeah, if
plumbing
you're owner
practice,
operator, for
you
sure.
make a shit ton of money.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, owner operators probably make a fuck ton doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
my-
it is shitty work.
A friend of mine said that I think it's his boss or his boss's boss, the owner of the company that he works for, he's a plumber. His backyard is the Cardinals stadium. He can watch them like practice and stretch and do all their stuff
Oh, that's cool.
because he's just like, so that's his house. Like that's just his backyard. He's like, he's fucking loaded.
if I was at that house, I'd just lay out back naked all season. Every time they're shooting, just lay out naked, blast the music loud.
You should go out naked with your music, but like work out just like them. Like just do what they're doing,
Yeah.
but like at like a degree of the motivation that they have,
Yeah.
and just just like you guys, and just watch them. That team will probably be the best because they'll want to be like, let's get the fuck out of here. Just run all your laps, get the fuck out of here.
I would enjoy that as like a Rudy storyline in a movie. It's like, where's Naked Tony? We need Naked Tony, goddammit. He's the only one that knows this play. We saw him running it.
just practicing with your body,
Yeah.
running back and forth.
And substituting in for Jamal Russell is Naked Tony, number 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
is there?
It's in memoriam of his second nut that died, because I'll be playing Naked Tony.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. right nut.
Oh, Lo siento.
The best.
I should get one of those things like Mexicans put on the back of their trucks, the rest in peace, and they get like Uncle Eddie or something like that. I should get that for my nut.
Or you should get like those family stickers, where people will have like a mom and a dad sticker.
Just me and the nut sack with one nut.
Yeah.
And then 2 cats.
Yeah.
Just a peanut and then an almond.
So sad. So sad.
And just at one time it was the size of a grapefruit. It wasn't healthy, but we got there. That fucking sonogram guy lied to my fucking face.
What do you say?
Because fun fact, folks, whenever that shit happens, they gotta sonogram your nutsack, right? So I got the pregnant jelly put on my nuts and fucking. I got fondled by a very
Is that what
nice.
it's called? Sonogram?
Yeah.
Ultrasound?
Ultrasound.
That's
Sonogram. Is that what you do when you fish, or is that sonar?
That's sonar. Yeah.
What's a sonogram?
I think that's when you hear the baby, the heartbeat.
No, isn't
No.
that also with the ultrasound?
A sonogram?
I don't know what a sonogram
What the fuck is a sonogram?
No. You continue. I'll Google.
Okay, so anyway,
You got ultrasound on your nut.
yeah, by a very nice Asian fellow, and
Were his hands soft?
I don't know, he didn't really touch me like that, thank God. But the jelly was cold, and I didn't like how it felt whenever he rubbed it all over the place on my nuts with the little sticky poo thing. But he's like, yeah, I don't think it's twisted. You're not like in pain usually, like we see, like what guys should be in pain. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
But internally, you're like, I feel like death. It hurts so much.
Because this had been on day 3. All the pain and everything subsided after like hour 12 on day 1.
And you're just living with your...
Yeah, and so at that
Struggling for life
point,
nut.
body just adapted, and it was still like painful, but it wasn't like the first night where I was like, oh my God, my gut hurt. Like,
God, that sounds terrible.
yeah, and then he's just going through it, and he got really quiet. And I was like, what do you know? What do you know? You're not talking anymore. And then he just looks at me and he goes, I'm just doing my job. I'm just doing my job. I was like, yeah, it's cool, bro. I get it.
Tell me.
Well, no, I was just like, my dick's out. It's weird. You're rubbing shit on my nuts. Like, I'm not hard. I don't, like, nothing's going on here.
Not
Like,
yet.
you don't got,
Wink.
yeah, you don't got to explain anything to me. And he just goes, okay, all right. Yeah, awesome. Everything looks good. And he goes, just go ahead and pull your shorts back up and go, wait in the room, and we'll come back and get you. And then like 3 minutes later, a doctor busts in the door and he's like, your fucking nut is twisted. How long has it been twisted? I was like, 3 days. He's like, we got to get you to a fucking hospital. And I was like, he lied to me.
Well, he's a technician. He can't diagnose
He
it.
could have saved my life. I could have left that hospital and died in peace from my gangrenous nut.
So one, I Googled, and it's very passive aggressive.
What's a sonogram?
Although often used interchangeably, ultrasound is the
Oh, it's the same.
Yeah, get fucked, haters.
is the procedure of using a sound wave or sound waves to create images from inside the body. Sonogram is the image produced by an ultrasound examination.
So are they just pumping Ramstein into your body in order for the...
Du hast. Baby's just like.
So then I first looked up just sonogram to see what the definition was.
Yeah.
And so that's the passive aggressive one.
Oh, is it one of those stupid, like, a thonogram is a gram of thono?
So it
It's
says,
like-
listen to the pronunciation. Sonogram. A computer picture of areas inside the body created by high energy sound waves.
So it's the same.
Yes. So an ultrasound is...
How is that passive aggressive?
The first thing is listen to the
Listen to the-
pronunciation.
Are you sure that's not a link to play a sound clip of the pronunciation?
No. I checked. I looked.
Oh.
It's just being an ass. My Google's very used to me asking stupid questions.
Yeah. Wait, it
How
is?
do
Because
you-
you ask Google shit all the time.
Yeah. Stupid questions. Do you know what I asked the other day?
What'd you ask?
What does the
Fox say?
No, what does the spelling of this say? How is the spelling pronounced or something like that?
What?
And it just listens to me now. It doesn't even give me bullshit anymore.
Dog, like, you use Google on hard mode, bro. What you doing?
I was just like, spell this, like, here's the spelling.
And
tell
if
me
you're
the
doing
name.
that on Bing, I don't know how the fuck you're finding anything.
No, I use Le Google Home.
I've slowly resourced Bing to just being my Google linkage. So I get points for that, because every single time I like Google something, I'm like, why are none of these specific enough? And I'm like, oh, god damn it, conglomerate motherfucker. And I go to Google. I'm like, god fuck it. But I still be getting them points still, you know?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, boy.
It counts, and that's all that matters.
Yeah,
Living like
dude.
my last name, Goldstein. You know what I'm
As long
saying?
as I keep getting that Game Pass for free, dude, I'll use Bing forever.
I almost bought you a Game Pass thing. I was like, what was he
You
going to
know.
use it for?
You
What was he
know.
going to use it for?
I got through next year covered.
Dude, I've seen your points balance, man. You got crazy
It's
points.
pretty nice.
Dude, you got crazy points.
Yeah.
How do you see your points balance? I don't know. You
It's
can do
on the. You just have to log into Microsoft
Yeah,
Awards.
if you're
It's in
on
there.
Bink, it's in the Bink. If you're on, if you're on Bing and it's
Dude, they should change it to Bink.
they changed the Bing or whatever the fuck I just goddamn fucking said.
Gerbil.
Mr. Jones. Okay.
it.
Dr. Jones.
Whatever happened to that little Asian boy?
He became a very well respected
Jet Li.
whoa.
Dude, if that was Jet Li, though, imagine
Dr. Jones.
what awesome beginnings.
Who is this little Asian boy who you reverence?
What's his name?
Short round.
Yeah, Short Round from
Which is that
Indiana
like
Jones.
Two.
Two, yeah.
Tiempo Laptome. What happened to Short Round, Gabe?
Juan Lee is his name.
Oh, it's such a good fucking Asian name.
Yeah, that's nice.
Just Wan Lee. What the fuck's your problem,
What are you
man?
laughing at? I'm scared.
Like, you know, it's like you're going through Mortal Kombat.
Wait,
It's like,
Juan Lee is Jonathan K. Kwan.
Gabe, are you racist?
Short round. Fictional character.
Wait, hang on, let me see.
Yeah, but where'd you get Juan Lee from?
Are you sure his name isn't Wan Lee in the movie?
So, yeah, I just realized.
Which is kind of really
is that-
fucking
is that
racist.
his-
when
that
I
his
put
name in
short
the movie?
round, it says short round, and then I didn't read fictional character until I read it to Tanner, and I realized that Juan Lee is the fucking child's name in the movie, not
What's
the
his
actor.
name? Jonathan Quinn?
Jonathan K. Kwan.
K. Kwan?
Like K.
See, that sounds like an Asian superhero secret identity name. Like Jonathan Kwan could
Was
be.
he in the Goonies?
Yeah.
He was?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, back then they would only use the one person from that
Yeah, you had like
country for everything.
you had a max of like 3 black kids that could be in a movie
Mm-hmm.
and 1 Asian star.
who could be in like up to 10
Yeah.
movies at a time.
And then the 2 Corys had to be in there. So,
Look at this man. He looks pretty good now.
damn, son, looking like a handsome man up in here.
I mean, yeah.
Jonathan Kwan.
Damn, he rocks those glasses.
Dude, he looks like Kojima's brother.
Can we show me the hot Asian,
Jonathan
please?
Kwan, would you like to be on the Dude Loft Mountain podcast?
You know, he kind of looks like Joe.
Can we talk about everything you've done after Indiana Jones?
I want to be
too?
friends with him.
Dude, can we be friends with Jonathan Kwan?
Jonathan K. Kwan.
Jonathan K. Kwan?
Does he have a Twitter?
I have no idea.
Can he be our first guest?
Dude, that would be so sick.
He's only 5'4". He's my type.
You like short guys?
Is he
Yeah.
Korean, Chinese, or Japanese?
I have no idea.
I believe he's probably Chinese.
He's American.
well, what's
He's
his...
Vietnamese.
Vietnamese, really?
Yeah.
They always played him as like a Chinese kid.
South Vietnam.
He was an X-Men.
He was?
Yeah.
As what?
I don't know.
He must have just been like a background
trying to
character.
click into it.
I feel like he's one of those guys that got a lot of cameo work, like where he just pops up in the background of things sometimes, like Seth Rogen sometimes does
so
that.
they're like, you know, I can put him in this movie just because people will go, ah, the Goonies.
It just
Yeah.
says X-Men additional character.
Yeah, he was an extra in a scene.
Yeah,
He must
yeah.
have been like an agent or something like that.
He has a movie coming out though called Finding Ohana.
Finding Family.
It
Starring...
does not look good.
Oh no. How many stars is it got?
Oh no, 6
6 stars? That's not that
out of
bad.
10.
The Hobbits have a 6, you know?
Well, that makes sense. The Hobbits weren't good.
Yeah, but they're watchable.
A lot of things are watchable.
Yeah, they are watchable.
Dude,
true.
some things don't be watchable though. Like Alita Battle Angel. That movie,
I never watched it.
you shouldn't. It's a giant piece of shit.
Really?
And anyone who likes Alita Battle Angel, I want you to fucking at me so I can personally dissect you as a human being and display you on my crucifix of Alita Battle Angel fans.
But I would think Alita Battle Angel would be entertaining for the same reason that The Hobbit was, because it's just a CGI like orgy.
No. The Hobbit is entertaining because it's basically, the way I like to watch it, is a 7-hour-long music video. I listen to the music. more than
That makes
anything.
a lot of sense. That makes a
Yeah.
lot of sense.
Alita Battle Angel, I have only seen clips of it, and I have a friend who fucking loves it. It is such a bad movie.
Yeah.
It is not good.
I wonder what it was rated.
Finding Ohana is a movie that's on Netflix that I was gonna go watch, and then I was kind of like, I'll get to it eventually. But now that I know he's in it, I think I'm gonna watch it.
Gotta support our boy,
See,
Jonathan K. Kwan.
this
Dude.
is not in any way a bribe.
Alita
to-
Battle Angel had 7 out of 10. Better than Finding
Isn't that the
Ohana.
cartoon?
Yeah, they don't know what they're fucking talking about. It's got this weird fan base where it's all like 40-year-old dudes. It's weird. Like a lot of the people I know that like it or like I've seen on YouTube who like constantly talk about it or like it and stuff like that. It's all like dudes in their like 40s to 50s.
Yeah, that's because it's like an adaptation of an older anime. It's all the fucking weebs that are into it.
But that's the friend I have that like it is not a weeb.
No, does
Oh.
he know it's from an anime?
I believe so.
Oh.
He had us watch it one day because actually, you know, what's funny about that is I told him if he watched a movie that I wanted him to watch, I would watch Alita Battle Angel, right? So I put on the anime movie called Your Name that I've talked about before. And it's fucking great, as usual. Fucking amazing. And then we turned on Alita Battle Angel after that. And I ended up leaving halfway through. And the friend, one of the friends who was watching it with us, texted me and was like, save me. Like, this movie is shit.
Dude, so the guy who directed Alita Battle Angel
Yeah.
directed most of the Spy Kids movies
Oh, it was Robert Rodriguez?
and a lot of Machete movies.
Well, and I know it was a James Cameron movie, too. Like, his, like, technology was used in it
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff.
He was probably a producer on it, if I had to
Yeah.
guess.
It's such a weird fucking cringy movie. It's got so many cringe lines in it. I don't honestly know what his obsession is with it, but he knows he uses it.
He just likes
against
the
us.
weird, like, anime eyes on that chick.
Dude. That's what I always say. I'm like,
that's what it
fucking
is.
for old weebs, man. Like you said, old weebs. That's who it's for. But
James Cameron was a screenwriter on that movie.
James Cameron is like simultaneously one of the smartest people I've ever read about and is someone who I would like to physically shit on.
Have you rewatched Avatar?
I have never watched Avatar.
You've never watched it.
No.
Dude, so when Avatar came out,
The movie with
Yeah.
the blue people?
yeah, with the blue
Okay.
people, fucking mind-blowing.
Uh-huh.
But if you try to watch it now or within like the past 5 years, it sucks. It is so bad.
Well, yeah, because it's basically just a giant showcase of a 3D product.
Yeah.
It's got a very basic storyline.
Well, it's not
to
even
it.
like the 3D stuff. It's just like the 100% CGI was like a thing that's never been done before, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
And now it's like this huge thing that Disney is like greenlit like a sequel that has a budget of like $5 billion or however fucking much.
Well, I mean, it's going to make a fuck ton of money.
and they put it, well, they're only saying that because the first one did. And the first one made a fuck ton of money because it was like, I don't even know what you call it, like the pressing edge of technology.
Yeah, but these next ones are supposed to be as well.
So
It's supposed to be all his upgraded shit.
we'll
so-
see. We'll see.
Yeah,
that.
but no, I mean, I
I don't have faith in it. Did you? I mean, you watched E3 when they showed like Pandora's or the next like Avatar game trailer.
yeah,
Looked like shit.
yeah. It's I never bought into the Avatar hype. I didn't get it.
It was
And-
awesome when it came out. I'll give it that.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: is I like movies.
Mhm.
I would never call myself a movie buff. So for me, it was like I enjoy movies that entertain me. Right?
Well-
I enjoy movies that entertain me, and that can mean it makes me think as well. But ultimately, I need to feel like, hey, I spent 2 hours watching this, and I feel like I've come away with some different perspectives or like maybe it's just like a good, nice 2 hour pause in my life to fall into a movie. And that's something I want to rewatch. Lord of the Rings is like that. Like, you know, I like lots of properties like that. I'm going to be honest with you. I forgot where we were going with
Did
this.
you watch King Kong? Was that a Spielberg movie?
Peter Jackson.
Peter
You talk
Jackson.
about the 2005 one or
Yeah.
whatever?
Did you watch that?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
I do like that movie.
Avatar is the same thing.
Oh, okay.
It's like really, really, really big production, big action, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
But under the surface, there's nothing more to it than that.
I got to be honest with you, though. I've kind of, I don't know if it was growing up, like we must have just watched a lot of this type of movie, but I kind of like dislike movies that are like military centered now.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I like watching movies with lots of like military dudes like talking to each other and all that stuff. It just exhausts me now. I'm just like, I think it's because I've watched too many stoner movies now to where it's like I need the Cheech and Chong just dumb comedy. But it's like you guys are so fucking serious all the time. Like,
When I watched that movie once and only once in the theater.
Avatar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, this is a pretty movie. This is Ferngully. This is Ferngully. This is definitely Ferngully.
Fern Gully?
Gully, whatever. And
Ferngully.
and I was like, yep, this is just what that movie is. That's really weird. I wonder if they know that. This movie is still going. Okay, that's fine.
It's like a 3-hour movie. It's a
Okay.
long one.
Like, I wonder if we can, like, there's an intermission. Like, at what point? And then I thought, this is still really beautiful. This is a pretty looking movie. I never watched it again because there's no fucking reason to.
I remember as a kid, I watched that movie and rewatched it so that just to see if I could ever see blue nipples. Well, you never saw it, Tommy. But like what's her name?
What the fuck?
Natiri or whatever, like the female protagonist, like none of them are wearing clothes. I was like, I wonder what their nipples look like. I never saw them.
That's why he's like, if you watched it in the last 5 years, it sucks. He's there with a magnifying glass.
There's no fucking nipples, not one.
But no, I just imagine so Life of Pi is a cool movie to watch.
Dude, Life of Pi is good.
Yeah,
Never
it's
seen it. I
really
need
good.
to watch it.
You
though.
need to.
But to
Yeah.
me,
So that'd be a good movie for the theater room.
it's good to watch once to be
Excuse me?
Be a good movie in there.
and
Oh, is that what we're calling it now?
The
I like
theater.
that. The
That's-
theater.
Gabe
room.
called it that in
yeah.
the
previous
theater
episode.
room. Okay.
It's just the living room.
no.
The
it's
theater.
The theater.
The theater.
You
So,
get you like
Life
a
of
90-inch
Pi-
TV in there now.
is really, really pretty. I would say also a good story. I would watch it a couple more times for the story.
Really?
It's
I don't
also
think there's much of a story
pretty.
there.
I mean, I think it's interesting, but
Yeah.
if it's also a movie that you can watch once and you don't have to watch it again. Although I would because of how pretty it is.
Yeah.
I would
It's on
say
HBO Max now.
Blade Runner 2049.
Oh,
I watched that movie like 90% for the visuals and like the soundtrack.
yeah. If you're not into it for the visuals or the soundtrack, you're going to be bored as hell.
Because the story's good, but it's just a slow-paced story that's extending the first movie, and the first movie is a slow-paced movie already anyway. It was a very long movie, and it was slow-paced. But the second one, man, the soundtrack and the visuals and everything, it's so fucking good.
Yeah,
I'm so excited for Dune because of that movie.
It was good on 2049 for like staying true to the source material, but
Oh, yeah.
I watched it in the theater and I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm bored.
Yeah, I mean, the
but-
first movie is that same way too. It's a
Yeah.
really interesting take. It's the first manifestation visually of the cyberpunk world.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything was just literature up until that. Blade Runner was based off of a Philip K. Dick book, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
And it was the first manifestation of a new genre of movie and like a new landscape. This like kind of like dystopian future. But it's a neo-noir movie. And neo-noir movies are slow-paced
Yeah.
and they're long.
And I mean, like, it has Denis Villeneuve behind it, like,
Yeah.
best director, in my opinion. I love that man.
Yeah.
The cinematography was great. Like you said, the music was great. Like, technically speaking, that is a, like, nearly perfect movie.
Yeah.
But I watched it on a double date, and I was like, I am so sorry to everyone that came to me with this movie. Like, it was so boring and so slow,
Yeah.
but I loved it.
You kind of have to watch it and become a little bit of a cult fan of the first one.
Yeah, definitely.
To do it. But what's his name? What's the director's name? You always say it right. I don't.
Denis Villeneuve.
Okay. Because I always say
I don't even know if I'm saying that right. 'Cause
I always
he's
say-
French. It's like Dennis.
I always say Dennis Villeneuve.
Yeah.
But that sounds more Spanish, so I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I don't
But
know.
his name, the minute it's on a movie, that's one of the few directors I'm like, I want to see that movie.
I love him.
Even if it's a shitty storyline, I know that's one of the movies I'm going to pay attention to the directing in, because like Sicario, Blade Runner 2049, did he do Arrival?
He did Arrival.
Like
he did
all those
Prisoners.
movies are so pretty.
His first movie was a French movie called Incendies, which is worth a watch if you haven't seen it. But definitely not as good as the rest of the stuff that you know of.
How many times are you asked the question, have you seen? And your answer is no. Tanner.
More often than you would think, because
Really?
everyone that asks me, "Have you seen?" It's usually an older movie.
I was going to say, he said no to us a lot.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the movies we bring up.
Because
a lot of our
Big
nostalgic
Lebowski.
movies.
Yeah, like I haven't seen that.
There's a lot of movies you guys talk about. I'm like, I've never seen
Because
these movies.
it's like critical successful movies within the last decade or so are movies that I want to watch. Anything like before that, that's older than that. Well, maybe not the last decade, but like the last 2 decades. Anything older than that, I probably haven't seen.
There's a really old movie that I really, really love called Gone with the Wind that I was going to make my suggestion movie, but I was like, but it's very fucking old.
Yeah.
And it's very long, too.
And
Like
it's
a 3-hour
very
movie.
long. And I was like, and I just feel like if you're not into going, like if you don't know what the Gone with the Wind is preceding watching it, I don't think you're going to enjoy it. It's very long.
I need to think about the movies I want to watch with you guys.
There's probably a good list. We'll work on that for the next podcast.
Well, are we still doing that dinner thing?
Yes.
I thought you already had your list together.
No, I had suggestions. Suggestions. I'm a traditionalist, but
Okay, so we'll work on the movies for the next podcast. But thank you all very much for listening. Please like, share, rate, and
Kobe.
share us on Good Pods. That way we can just demolish the ranking.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you could subscribe to the podcast on Good Pods. All 3 of us have a profile on Good Pods, so you could follow us on there too if you want.
Dude, go look at my profile picture. It's the most
It's,
reassuring thing ever.
It's a cat, isn't it?
No, it's Doge
That's his
handing.
Twitter.
It's a
It is
meme
Doge.
that
It
says,
is
"Hey,
Doge,
bro,
yeah.
you good? Take this. You might need it." And it's Doge handing you a giant cup of chocolate milk.
Yes.
Oh my
I
god!
need to actually go on there and like update all my profile things because I saw yours and I was like, I didn't know you could do this. And I was like, go back. I'll
My
fix
poor
it.
children. If I ever have children, when they turn like 4, they're gonna have to pass a test if they want to stay alive.
Jesus.
Hand them a cup of chocolate milk. Is that good? It's like, not really. I'm like, okay. Why don't you go to your room? Why don't you go to your room?
Turn your back
Kids, leave the house. No. You stay in your room. Honey, grab daddy the gasoline. This
Oh
one's
my
gone
God.
bad.
This one's kind of
Welcome to Dark Corner.
fine. I can start all over. What's 17 more? years?
Yeah, just go full invincible dad.
There's an anime about that
Chocolate milk?
idea.
Fucking next time. Next time.
Anyway, thank you all so much for
No,
listening.
we got all the time in the world to talk about chocolate milk, man.
Next time.
One of us do. The rest of us don't.
Dude, don't talk about Shiva like that, man.
Thank you all for listening. I appreciate it. Thank you and good night.